Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Cristiano Ronaldo missed Manchester United's FA Cup third round tie against Aston Villa due to a minor muscular problem. Ralph Rangnick has confirmed it's not too serious. So that's good news from a Manchester United perspective. Ronaldo should be available for the league game against Aston Villa this Saturday. I'm hearing that PSG are interested in Ronaldo. Not so long ago, Cristiano Ronaldo held crisis talks with his agent Jorge Mendes about his future. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United if the club's next manager isn't to his liking. Earlier on this season, Ronaldo came out and said that I'm not happy at Manchester United. But Ronaldo's agent Jorge Mendes said that Ronaldo's very happy at Manchester United. Ronaldo has scored 14 goals in all competitions since he re-signed, and he's got over 800 goals in his career. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million, with add-ons included. He wears a number 7 shirt and he's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He's the best player in the world overall. He has won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Manchester United have relied on Ronaldo far too much since he re-signed. And he's saved Manchester United quite a few times this season. He saved us in the game against Norwich last year, scored the winner from the penalty. He also saved us in the 2-2 draw at Atalanta because he netted twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves in that game, and he saved us in the game against Villarreal at Old Trafford. So disregarding Ronaldo, Manchester United would be in a worse position. Now, Marcus Rashford needs to be dropped. Ralph Rangnick admits he don't know why Marcus Rashford is struggling. Rangnick also said that Marcus Rashford looked good in training. Marcus Rashford was very poor against Aston Villa. Marcus Rashford has been very, very poor since he come back from that shoulder injury. He just hasn't been the same player. Rashford missed the first 2 months of this season with that shoulder problem. He's just low on confidence at the moment. You know, he's been doing good things off the pitch, but he hasn't been good on the pitch. That's the problem. Reports from Spain said earlier on this season that Marcus Rashford could leave Manchester United. It said, Barcelona and PSG were said to be interested in him. He's got under a year and a half left on his contract at Man United. Rashford has been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016. Now, Manchester United will not let Dean Henderson leave in January, Ralph Rangnick has confirmed. Dean Henderson was not part of the squad for Man United's game against Villa in the FA Cup yesterday night. I thought Henderson would have been in goal for the game against Villa in the Cup. Henderson doesn't get in goal much because last summer De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson has only made 2 appearances this season. Revert back to earlier on this season, Henderson was out with COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season though, Henderson got given that number 1 jersey and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson regrets signing that new long-term contract. Henderson signed a contract until 2025 with an option of a 6th year before the start of last season. Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. I think Newcastle have been interested in getting Dean Henderson. Tottenham have been interested. And Ajax have been interested in a loan until the end of the season. Ralph Rangnick, he's been Manchester United's interim manager for over a month now. Rangnick has lost 1 game so far as Manchester United manager. Manchester United lost to Wolves the other week 1-0. That was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. It was a very poor performance against Wolves. Revert back to the other week, there was reports saying that Rangnick is already losing the dressing room at Manchester United. And it said, 17 Manchester United players are unhappy with Ralph Rangnick. But despite that, it said Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available for him this month. So reflecting on that, Rangnick will be backed by the Glazers this month. Reflecting on the poor performances under Rangnick, Rangnick is blameless. The players are to blame. The players are the biggest problem at Manchester United at this moment in time. There's 3 problems Rangnick needs to address, and that's the squad, the formation. Rangnick's obviously stuck with that 4-2-2 formation so far since he come in. That formation doesn't really seem to be working. And also, he needs to address his team selection. Rangnick has made changes since he came in, because earlier on this season he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. I'm very, very sceptical that Rangnick will get offered the Man United job on a permanent basis. Before Manchester United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. He's the interim manager till the end of the season. Then it did initially say that he'll continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years, but he recently said that the consultancy role for Rangnick is now in doubt. In the summer, Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. But who's it going to be? There's a very good chance that Mauricio Pochettino will be Manchester United's next permanent manager. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Mauricio Pochettino's move to Manchester United is almost done. He said Pochettino wants Manchester United and Manchester United want Pochettino. Pochettino will leave PSG by June at the latest. PSG have got their replacement for Pochettino because it recently said PSG have agreed terms with Zidane. Zidane is a former Real Madrid manager. Revert back to earlier on this season. Pochettino came out a few times and said that I'm happy at PSG and he wouldn't let the Man United rumours distract him. And it said that Man United were prepared to pay the 10 million compensation fee. Pochettino, I think, has won a French Cup at PSG. He's got is it under a year left on his contract at PSG now? Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Manchester United should have got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. Pochettino is a good manager, despite him hardly winning anything. He's proven in the Premier League as well before. Pochettino managed Tottenham. Pochettino endured 5.5 years at Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. But in 2018, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point, he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager before Pochettino managed Southampton. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far, and before he managed Espanyol. There's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag come in. You've got to admire the work that Erik ten Hag has done at Ajax. You know, he's won a couple of titles with them. He got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals back in 2019. I also like the way he develops young players. He's been Ajax manager, Erik ten Hag, for 5 years now. He's got a contract with Ajax until 2023. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht. Before Utrecht, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. You know, Manchester United are looking for their 5th permanent manager. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. You know, Manchester United sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. Then Man United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season at the club. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. The reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, because the board didn't recommend the players he wanted to get in. Mourinho also had bad disputes with the top players, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Following that 4-1 defeat to Watford, Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. As you all know, when Solskjaer officially got sacked, he got emotional in a farewell interview, which of course was understandable because Solskjaer was part of the club for a long time. Like I said, he was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years, and Solskjaer endured 11 years as a player for Man United. So that's almost 14 years in total. Manchester United made the right decision sacking Solskjaer, because revert back to the last few months under Solskjaer, the performances were terrible and the results were terrible to go with the performances. But reflecting on that, not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer, did it? He was partly to blame because his tactics and his team selections were questioned a lot, but there was also players that had to take responsibility as well. The club didn't really want to sack Solskjaer, but they had no choice but to sack him in the end. Manchester United paid off Solskjaer around $7.5 million, because if you revert back to last summer, he signed a 3-year contract with an option of a further year. Manchester United made a mistake giving him that contract. But Solskjaer is a legend of the club, and he always will be a legend of the club. That's what got mentioned on the statement when he officially got sacked. The club Solskjaer has managed in his managerial career so far. He managed Manchester United's reserve team. Obviously, he managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely terrible. He only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them. He got sacked from Cardiff because he got them relegated. Then obviously Solskjaer had 2 spells at Mulder. He won a few Norwegian titles with them, but they're not a big club. And of course, he managed Manchester United's senior squad. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager. He had a proven pedigree when he was a Manchester United player. Solskjaer won a lot of trophies as a Manchester United player. And he scored 126 goals in 366 appearances in all competitions. His most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final at the Nou Camp back in 1999. Solskjaer won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer did not win a trophy as Manchester United manager. Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. I'm hoping we can win a trophy this season under Ralph Rangnick. We revert back to Solskjaer. I said at the start of this season, when Solskjaer was United manager, that this season was always going to be big for him, and the pressure was on him as well, because last summer Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. Made 4 signings. 3 of the 4 signings were major signings, and last summer Man United spent around £141 million. Plus, last summer when Solskjaer was United manager, he received very good backing from the board. Obviously the Glazers backed him. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years now. The Glazers bought Manchester United for $500 million back in 2005. Woodward also backed him. The news on Woodward already. Woodward is stepping down at the end of this month, and he will be replaced by Richard Arnold. Richard Arnold will become Manchester United's new chief executive on the 1st of February. Ed Woodward has had like a 17-year association at Manchester United. He's been one of the biggest problems at the club though for a long time as Woodward. It got announced Woodward was leaving back in April last year when that European Super League came into the equation. John Murtaugh, our director of football, backed Ollie last summer, and so too did Darren Fletcher. I just thought the expectations were far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager, and he was basically in a position he shouldn't have ever been in. Solskjaer did get appointed in back in December 2018, to replace Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer was the interim manager in his first 3 months, did well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. When Solskjaer was Manchester United manager, he signed around 14 players. Manchester United spent over £400 million under Solskjaer. Solskjaer also got rid of a lot of players. He loaned players out and he got rid of players permanently. In his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a 3rd place finish. Then in his second full season, which was last season, got us to the Carabao Cup semi-final, the FA Cup quarter-final and the Europa League final. That was his first major final when he was Man United manager, but unfortunately he didn't win it. And he got us a 2nd place finish in his second full season. When Man United had Solskjaer, Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. And I also like the way Solskjaer developed the youth when he was Man United manager. But Manchester United have been playing catch-up since Ferguson retired. No one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. And we've got to accept that, Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United because he won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a very long-serving manager. Now, will Manchester United make a signing this month? Well, I'm hoping we can make a signing. There's a lot of players that Manchester United have been linked with now. Yesterday, I give you the news on Denis Zakaria. Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Manchester United have made no official bid for Denis Zakaria. As things stand. But prior to that, it said Manchester United made a £5 million bid for Denis Zakaria. And it said Man United were in talks to sign Denis Zakaria as Ralph Rangnick appreciates the player. Denis Zakaria is at Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's been at Borussia Mönchengladbach for 5 years. Borussia Mönchengladbach got him from Young Boys for around €10 million. He's made 118 appearances in the Bundesliga and he's scored around 11 goals. His contract at Borussia Mönchengladbach expires this year. Zakaria is 25 and he's a defensive midfielder, and Rangnick's already made it clear that he wants a centre defensive midfielder at Manchester United. The other week there was a lot of reports coming out about Ruben Neves from Wolves. It said Manchester United were interested in Ruben Neves, and it said Man United were leading the chase for Ruben Neves. And he said Man United could bid around £35 million this month for Ruben Neves. Man United held talks with Ruben Neves' agent George Mendes. Sources say that Ruben Neves is ready to move on from Wolves and he's eager to show his skills at a bigger club. Ruben Neves played the other week against us, put a very good performance out. He had that very good chance from the volley, produced a good save from De Gea. Ruben Neves has been at Wolves for 5 years. Wolves got him back in 2017 from Porto. Wolves paid around 15.8 million. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. Manchester United have also been linked with Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham have also been long-term targets. Earlier on in the season, there was a lot of narratives coming out about Julian Alvarez from River Plate. It said, Julian Alvarez is set to join Man United after Rangnick held talks with the player's agent the other week. Said Alvarez is set to become the first signing of the Rangnick era, and it said Manchester United are prepared to pay the £17 million release clause to sign Alvarez. Julian Alvarez is at River Plate, he's been at River Plate a long time. He isn't up their academy in that. His contract at River Plate expires this year. He's mainly a forward. He can also be deployed as a winger, and he's only the age of 21. Man United have also been linked with Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. The other week there was talks about a possible swap deal involving Ousmane Dembele and Anthony Martial, but I don't want Ousmane Dembele at Manchester United because he's too injury prone. But I can assure Man United are focusing more on the outgoings than the incomings this month. Some players have already gone out on loan this month, by the way. But the players I think will be leaving Man United this year, Martial will leave. There again, Fabrizio Romano said that Sevilla can't pay Anthony Martial's full salary plus loan fee. Last year, Man United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. Martial's made it clear that he's not interested in making a move to Newcastle. Cavani, he will leave in the summer. He won't leave this month because prior to the Villa game in the Cup, Rangnick revealed that Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. Revert back to last Thursday, Edinson Cavani had a meeting with Ralph Rangnick, and prior to the Wolves game, Rangnick said he's desperate for Edinson Cavani to stay at Man United until the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Cavani's been linked with Barcelona. Said last year he agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Juventus have been in for him, and last year Cavani rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Juan Mata, I think he's leaving the club this year. I think there's a good chance Juan Mata will leave this month. Jesse Lingard, I think he'll be leaving as well this year because Lingard doesn't really get in the team. I've heard that Anthony Allanger could be going out on loan to a championship club, but there again Rangnick wants to keep him. Anthony Allanger obviously came on yesterday night against Villa in the Cup, and when he came on he made an impact. He showed good pace, got in some good positions, and he got the crowd going again. Made quite a few first team appearances now as Anthony Allanger. He's been part of the club for a long time. He isn't up our academy in that, he joined Man United's academy at the age of 12, did Allanger. And towards the end of last year, he committed his future to the club because he signed a new contract with Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. I'm hearing that Amad Diallo is going out on loan. Donnie Van Der Beek, he'll probably leave in the summer because I've been hearing that he's not allowed to leave Man United this month. Van Der Beek remains keen on leaving Man United in this January transfer window because he held talks with Ralph Rangnick to discuss his future. Earlier on this season, Van Der Beek had a bust-up with his agent. Van Der Beek didn't start against Villa in the Cup, but he did come on, and to be fair, he made an impact. You can't blame Van Der Beek for wanting to leave because he's not getting enough opportunities at Manchester United. He hasn't been given enough opportunities under Rangnick. He's only started one game under Rangnick, and revert back to when we had Solskjaer, Van Der Beek didn't get enough opportunities. Matic, I think he's also leaving the club as well this year. Paul Pogba, There's a very good chance that he'll leave in the summer. He won't leave this month, Paul Pogba. Prior to the Villa game, Rangnick gave us an injury update on Pogba. He said Pogba's going to be out for at least another 4 weeks. Pogba's got what? A hip injury. Not so long ago, Pogba denied being offered a new contract at Man United. The Sun came out and said that Manchester United offered Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made him the highest paid player in Premier League history. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Phil Jones and Bailly, I think they're also leaving the club as well this year. Jones doesn't get in the team much. He played against Wolves the other week because obviously Harry Maguire picked up a knock. Jones was our best player against Wolves. It was his first Premier League appearance since January 2020. Jones is only the outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. He's been a long-serving player at Man United. This season is his 11th season at the club. We got Jones from Blackburn when we had Ferguson. Eric Bailly, he doesn't get in the team much either. Bailly, the last game he played was Burnley 3-1, but he came off injured in that game, and obviously Bailly's at the African Cup of Nations now. Dalot, do you think he could leave this year? And obviously, the news on Dean Henderson. Man United won't let him leave this month, so we may have to wait until the summer to offload him. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe. As always, take care, God bless, see you all again very, very soon.